ये स्क्रीन रिकॉर्ड कर लेगा आपकी.
A prosthodontist working in Saudi Arabian University for more than 10 years now. It is almost 13 years now. So it was just my actually interest towards the astrology, but my professional commitments were not permitting me to get involved into it in a deeper manner. But COVID time, that was a good time for me. Classes were online, so everywhere, even astrology was online. So I was able to learn this. Now, let us start with our main topic, that is Lagna and Lagna Lord. I will start sharing my screen. Can everyone see?
Yes, sir.
Everyone can see it, right? Now, when we start evaluating a horoscope, see, all of you, you are well versed with astrology, basics, and everything. So many things I will not go into it because it will unnecessarily extend the time. The main things and certain key points which I find that either they are confusing or people means they are misunderstood basically or not completely understood. So I will touch those points and any horoscope for whatever the reason person has come to us for analysis, whether it is education or marriage or profession or any other aspect of the life. The first thing and the foremost thing should be the evaluation of Lagna and Lagna Lord. All of you know it is the main pillar around which the whole horoscope, it revolves. The life of the person revolves around this. It is one of the tripod which influences the life of the person. As Lagan, we have Surya Lagan also, Chandra Lagan also. They are equally important, but the Janma Lagan, that is birth Lagan, that is the most important thing. You know, everyone knows as an astrology student, we know that we have to evaluate it very critically. There are many reasons for that. Any yoga is in the chart, whether it is Raj Yoga, Dhan Yoga, or yoga for any other aspect of the life that is present in the horoscope, whether it is attached to the Lagan or Lagna Lord or not, doesn't matter. The strength and disposition of Lagan and Lagna Lord, it influences the enhancement or whether how that yoga is going to be expressed actually in the life of that native. You know, most commonly we see Gaj Kesari Yoga. It is present in any other chart you see. But not everyone attains a position in his life, whether it is professionally or in a social aspect. So the reasons behind is all these things are that Lagna and Lagna Lord, they should be strong. That is why we are going to have a person when you see, when you examine a chart and you find that Lagna and Lagna Lord, they are very strongly disposed in a good position, in a good condition. Some or the other time in his life, he will reach a stage where it will be, actually he will be a known person in the society. There are Panch Mahapurush Yogas. All of you know them. But if that Panch Mahapurush Yoga, it takes place in the Lagan, it becomes a distinguishing feature and the qualities of that yoga, they are manifested in a much pronounced manner. I'm sorry. Right? So therefore, it is very important. Similarly, what happens actually is there are bad yogas in the chart. The negativity of those yogas will be much more pronounced if Lagan and Lagna Lord, they are not well disposed or they are under malefic influences. Whether they are participating in it or not doesn't matter. So now means we have understood that the Lagna and Lagna represents the person himself, the embodied being. Hurasha, some significations for this. It represents physics, as we said already, that it represents the person himself, embodied being. So it represents the physics, appearance, complexion, how he looks, weakness, joy, sorrow, his nature basically. All these things will depend upon the sign it is placed in the nakshatra it is placed in, and in the house it is placed in, Lagna Lord, right? But the three most important points from this statement of Parashara, I would like to highlight actually. First thing you can see here, it is intellect. You can see the intellect. It represents intellect. Second is vigor and vitality. This is very important point. And third point is the last one, ideals. These are the three main spheres which are very much influenced by Lagna and Lagna Lord. Now, how intellect, ideals or vitality is influenced? What is the Karaka for Lagna Lord? Lagan, first house Karak. I think everyone knows it. The Karak for first house is Sun. For intellect, intelligence, it involves the mind, mental activity. So it is the role of moon comes here. Third is ideals. Both of them together, ideals means something for means person strives for something that is perfect. You know, इसको हम बोलते हैं हिंदी में आदर्श. So whenever there is a well-disposed Lagna, with Lagna Lord in the Lagan, with benefic aspects, not any malefic influence, the person tends to go towards the ideals. Person tries to be, वो एक आदर्श व्यक्ति बनना चाहता है, actually. Now, here we have seen that because of these qualities, we see the role of sun and moon. Sun and moon, they come into play. It means when Lagna Lord is sitting in Lagna, he is going to take the influence of sun and moon also in the Lagna. Okay? If you read the Hora Shastra, Mahasi Parasar has said there that when Lagna Lord is sitting in Lagna, person has a fickle mind. He becomes fickle-minded, try to go after the females like that. Means we should not take the languages in literal form actually. That was a different time, different morals and standards, all were different. Today it is something different totally. So whenever we read these, classics, we should take them liberally rather than literally. Okay. So why he is saying that person becomes fickle-minded and he runs after women? The reason is moon is there, it is carrying the effect of moon. So moon is a fickle-minded thing. It is a fast-moving planet, changes every now and then. But that doesn't mean that person will become like that if Lagna Lord is in Lagna. No, not at all. You have to see other combinations also, whether they are favoring this type of tendency or not. For example, moon is influenced by Mars, or Mercury and moon, they are under influence of each other. Or Venus and Mars, they are influencing each other. These are such combinations which will impel the person to move towards that type of tendency, right? So we should not take them literally. Before I go for the analysis, I have I have taken so many charts here. I would like to discuss a few things which I told you earlier also that they are a little bit misunderstood or less understood. So let us come to those conditions. Yeah. So when we will call Lagna strong or favorably disposed, we have 6 factors which will make the Lagna favorable and strong. First and the foremost is occupied or aspected by Lagna Lord. For any house, whatever it is, whichever house it is, this is the first condition which makes it strong. This is the first. All the conditions which I have given here, they are in descending order actually. So this is the first condition, that Lagna Lord should be present in the Lagna. That will make the Lagna very strong. Apart from that, if other favorable conditions are present, that will enhance the good aspects of first house. If there is a malefic influence, that will reduce the benefic aspects. So likewise we have to see. We will see one by one how we have to move forward. All of you must have heard, and everyone in the astrology, he knows one yoga that is called as, not yoga, it is not yoga, actually it is a condition, Paap Kartari Yoga or Shubh Kartari Yoga. All of you are well aware of this thing. Now why Maharshi Parashar wants to say that if it is Shubh Kartari Yoga, then it will be good for Lagna or Lagna Lord or any house and any planet. And why, if there is a Ashubh Kartari Yoga or Paap Kartari Yoga, why it is going to be bad? Now this yoga has, see, whatever Parashar has given about yogas, there is something to understand about those things. They are not just merely planetary combinations. There is a logic behind them. For example, let us consider Paap Kartari Yoga. So it means for any house or any planet, second house from that planet or house, and the 12th house from that planet or house, if it has malefic planets, it is called as Paap Kartari Yoga. Right? Now, how it is going to affect that house or that planet? See, suppose we consider Lagna here. We are considering Lagna, right? So 12th house becomes the house previous to it. All the significations of first house, they are going to take a spark, or the trigger of that signification, it lies in 12th house. So if there is a malefic, the signification, either they will start very late or very late, or they may not start at all, depending upon the amount of maleficence coming on that. Similarly, the second house means next house to that house or planet. If there is a malefic planet there, that is going to cause the end of those significations in a bad shape. So second house, it carries the end of the significations of previous house. So here we are considering Lagna. So second house, it has the, actually it will cause end to the significations, and the 12th house, it is going to have, it will start the signification. Now if there are benefic planets, everything will start smoothly and everything will end smoothly. If there are malefic planets, start will be bad, it may be worse, or it may not start at all. Now there is a condition, for example, if there is benefic planet on one side and malefic on the other side, depending upon on which house the benefic planet is present. If benefic planet is present in the 12th house, it is going to give a good start to the significations of the first house. And if malefic planet is present in the second house, it is going to give a very bad end to the significations. So start will be good, end will be bad, and vice versa, depending upon which type of planet is sitting there. That is why this Kartari Yoga is very important, and Maharshi Parashar has given a lot of importance to this for any houses, which include any house at the same time, any planet, whether it is Karaka or it is house lord or anything. Whatever signification it will carry, they are going to suffer in a good or bad manner, right? So this is about Shubh Kartari and Pap Kartari Yoga. Another point which I want to focus on is combustion. Now this is also what I feel it little bit less understood or poorly understood concept. Now what is combustion actually? Every planet has some specific degree within which if the planet is under the influence of sun within that degree, it is called as combust. For example, let us take Mars. Mars is combust in 17 degrees. So within 17 degrees, if Mars comes under the influence of sun, it is combust. Now how can we say whether it is combust, means mildly, excuse me, please mute yourself. So yeah, so how can we say that whether this is mildly combust or it is deep combustion or it is completely combust, and what effect it is going to carry, whether it will give good effects or whether it is going to completely deny the things. For example, if any planet is under complete combustion means it should be within 1 degree of sun. Deep combustion means it should be within 3 degrees of sun, and beyond that then it is combustion, means you can say moderate, or if it is too far away from sun you can say it is mildly combust. Now question arises, what can be burned by sun? Something that has a physical existence, that only can be burned, that only can be combust. Something that doesn't have physical existence cannot be burned. For example, let us take Mercury. Mercury is a planet of, intelligence. Now, can combustion, suppose Mercury and Sun, they are placed at within 1 degree of each other. Now, can Sun burn the intelligence of Mercury? It cannot burn, because Mercury is not intelligence is not something that is physical. You cannot see the intelligence. You can perceive the intelligence. You cannot see as a physical body. It means in combustion, the internal significations, they cannot be burned, they cannot be damaged. Only things that have some physical existence, they can be burned. You can see in many charts of people who have attained a high position in their lives, they are popular among masses. You will see, for example, Venus, it is under deep combustion, Mercury under deep combustion, but if it is well placed, it is a lot of good houses, in its dasha, antardasha, it gives excellent results. Excellent results in terms of something that can be manifested outside, to the outside world. It means what I have experienced with combust planets, that their internal signification, they are enhanced, more deeper the combustion, more enhancement of the internal significations. And the living significations and some other karka of those planets, they suffer actually. For example, if it is Venus, it is a karka of marriage, karka for a spouse, for male and female both. So there will be problem in that area. Even sometimes it may cause loss of a spouse. So living significations of any planet, they suffer because of combustion, deep combustion. But it doesn't mean that it will not give good results. results. Sometimes they give excellent results, depends upon their planetary lordship and their, of course, the placement and association and everything. So until now, I think I have discussed 2 points which I feel they are a little bit means not clearly understood. Third point is the placement of house lord, whether it is Lagna lord or any other lord. How is it placed? Suppose we consider uh, fourth lord. Okay, fourth lord, it is placed in eighth house. This is the worst trick house, right? Now, if fourth lord goes to eighth house, what will be the effect on the fourth house? At the same time, what will be the effect on the Lagna? Because the eighth house is eighth from the Lagna. But remember, it is fifth from fourth house. Fifth means it is trine, right? So here, the concept is actually what I have experienced with my own things, means my own analysis, whatever I have seen in the chart. If the planet is placed in a bad house from Lagna, say for example, 8th house, the person himself is going to suffer. And if it is placed in a good position from its own house, say for example, 4th lord, if 4th lord is present in 8th house, it is present in a trine. So there will be we can see the significations of 4th house prospering, but at the same time, the person may have troubles because of that. Maybe some conflict with mother, maybe a problem with the health of mother, or maybe some issues from mother or other relations which are represented by the 4th house. Right? So this is how we have to see. Similarly, 5th house lord, suppose if it goes to 4th house, 8th house, now it is a Kendra position from 5th house. So it may be, if there are benefic associations, it will help the children to prosper in their lives. But since it is 8 from the Lagna, the person himself may be facing trouble because of the children. He may have conflicts. All those things means. So like this we have to see actually how it is placed from the Lagna and how it is placed from itself. Now since we are talking about the Lagna and Lagna Lord, so it is going to be the same where it is sitting, whether it is sitting in Kendra position or trine or any difficult house like 6, 8 or 12. So whichever house the Lagna Lord occupies, it carries its significations there, and that area of life becomes the primary area of life or focus of that individual. Whenever a house lord goes to any house, whatever it is, ultimately suppose we are talking about Lagna lord goes to 4th house. Now, even if it is sitting in the 4th house, but its main agenda, it is of the 1st house. And he will carry out the agenda from 4th house, where it is sitting, or anywhere else, wherever it is sitting. Now, Lagna and Lagna Lord becomes, particularly Lagna Lord in this sense, placement point of view, it becomes very important because wherever he is going to sit, ultimately that house is going to prosper. That house becomes strong. But whether the Lagna itself will be strong or not will depend upon which house he is sitting. Suppose he is sitting on 6th house. Now this is a house of disease. Right? If he has a benefic association, 6th house significations, they will prosper. But since Lagna Lord himself is sitting in the 6th house, he is likely to have diseases. Right? What will be the intensity? That will depend upon other factors. Means what benefic associations it has, and any other malefic association it has. Like for example, Lagna Lord goes to 6th house, And there is an aspect of Saturn also on that. Now Saturn is a Karaka for these troublemaker houses. That is sixth house, eighth house, and 12th house. He is going to, most likely he will have health issues. Means anybody can say by just by seeing this. That's Karaka of diseases. It is aspecting the Lagna Lord who is already sitting in the sixth house. When he is sitting in the eighth house, it may cause chronic diseases. When it is sitting in 12th house, it may cause loss of things. When Lagna Lord is going to the 12th house, if we consider only loss, it may cause loss of anything for him and everything. Because Lagna means person himself. Right? So when we are going to analyze, see this technique actually, this technique is recommended by renowned astrologer K.N. Rao Saab. And I find it very effective actually when you proceed by following this technique. The analysis of each house and each planet, it gives very important clues. At the same time, synthesizing the results become very easy. So, first is thesis, second is antithesis, third is synthesis. What is thesis? Thesis means when we are seeing a house, let us see what are the benefit associations attached to that house, how good it is, what are the yogas which are going to be formed there, and what are the benefit association of those yogas, whether Lagna Lord is participating or not. If it is participating, that yoga becomes very prominent and distinguishing feature of that chart. Okay, so we have to see by analyzing the house, house lord, and Karaka, all three. Now Karaka, what is Karaka? Karaka is not under our control. It is a factor which is from the God. Sun, if it is bad, it is not in good shape, in bad condition, in bad house, nothing can be done because it is Karaka for the physical body. Health issues are bound to come. Okay. Similarly, Sun is Karaka for father also. It signifies father. There may be problems related with father. Likewise, house and house lord, those can be controlled by us because ultimately the house lord is the manager. And who is the manager? We are the manager, the person himself. Okay. So, house and house lord, they are manageable. But Karaka, if gets bad, it is not manageable. It means it is the will of the God. You cannot do much about it. Okay. So house and house lord, if they are in problem, like malefic associations, things can still be managed. But if Karaka goes bad, then things become problematic for that particular house. So we have already seen these second and 12th from the house, that is Shubh Kartari, Pap Kartari. Then we have to see malefics, if they are sitting 3rd, 6th and 11th position from the house. Here we are talking about Lagna, so 3rd house from Lagna, 6th house from Lagna, 11th house from Lagna. It is beneficial. They are Upachya houses, that is house of growth. There is a good yoga, in Parashari, Vasumati yoga, when all the planets, they occupy 3, 6 and 11 position. Actually 10 is also included in it. So actually, to understand, I'll just speak a little bit on this Upachya houses. Upachya houses, they are the house of efforts actually. 3rd house is the house of effort. 6th house is the house of determination, house of competition. They are the combined intelligence. When the karmas, that is 10th house, join together these two houses, the result we get is the result of 11th house, that is fulfillment of desire. Right? So, but 10th is not included in Upasya, though it is there, but we don't include often because it is a Kendra and the most powerful Kendra also. And all these three, they are not Kendras, right? Neither trines, not Kendras. So this is, let me, yeah. So let me come to the next point now. Let us take examples. Combustion, I have already told you. This is a table given here for each house. What is the external significations and internal signification? For first house, external is body, internal is thinking, right? Because it involves mind also. For second house, family, internal is speech. For third house, younger siblings, they are external significations. Internal is courage. Likewise, you can see for each and every house there is. So when combustion, deep combustion takes place or planet is completely combust, the internal significations, they are spared and the external significations, they suffer, right? So let us come to the example now. First is, a house becomes strong when the house lord is present there, right? In this chart, there are two examples and they are of renowned people. Both of them, they have achieved stardom in their lives. You can see both of them have Sagittarius Lagna and the Lord Jupiter is sitting there, right? So this itself is making the house strong. Apart from that, in both the cases, you will see, in first case, there is Venus as a natural benefic, and in the second case, we have Mercury also. So there are three natural benefics in the second chart, right? And what I told in the beginning, that when you are going to see the chart, see the Lagan, and see what yogas are being formed there. In the first chart, you can see in the second house, we have three planets, including Mercury. In the Lagan, we have Jupiter and Venus. Can anyone tell what type of yoga this is being formed here? There is a good yoga being formed here, which makes a person famous. This is Saraswati Yoga. Whenever natural benefics occupy Kendra, Trikona or second house, they form Saraswati Yoga. Now Saraswati goddess, you know what it represents. Second chart also, when you see, all these three natural benefics, they are sitting in the Lagna. So they are forming the Saraswati Yoga in Lagna itself. Now, the difference between both these Saraswati Yogas, now this is how you have to differentiate the charts. The difference between these two yogas is, one is formed within the Lagna itself, another has second house involvement. Apart from that, the Mercury, which is the component of this Saraswati Yoga, it is influenced by two first-rate malefics, Sun and Mars. So when you compare the yogas formed in these two charts, the first one is inferior to the second one, right? Apart from that, you can see Lagna is under Pap Kartari. Now you will say, how it is Pap Kartari? One side is Moon and the side is Mercury. Mercury is malefic here, though it is involved in Raj Yoga and Saraswati Yoga, but it is malefic. Why? Because it is purely with two malefics. Whereas Moon, it is a waning moon. It is not a waxing moon. So Moon is acting as a malefic 8th lord here. Right? So this Lagna is hemmed between two malefics, that is Mercury, Sun and Mars on one side and Moon on the other side. So this is not a superior chart when we compare with the other one, the second one. Second one, we have this yoga in the Lagna itself At the same time, there is no hemming. The Sun and Ketu, they are present on one side of the chart. There is only one blemish here, and that is the aspect of Saturn. That is the only blemish here in this chart. But here the whole Lagan and Lagna Lord both are influenced by Pap Kartari. Right? Now, if you remember, I put one slide in the group regarding the drug addiction. Right? It was mentioned in this chart, in that slide, that fifth house. See, when you see any person consuming a thing that should not be consumed, and he is consuming on regular basis, it means he is not able to discriminate whether it is good for him or bad for him. Right? So, fifth house, that house of intelligence, house of discrimination, buddhi or vivek ka jo house hai, that is afflicted in such cases. And here you can see it has a double affliction. It is under Rahu Ketu axis. No, Mars is the lord of this house, so we cannot call it affliction. So it is under Rahu Ketu axis. Second thing, the lord of this house, it is afflicted by Sun. Mars is with Sun in the second house. Right? Now, most important thing for not consuming the things which are not supposed to be consumed actually, second lord should be strong for that. Unfortunately, in this case, you can see Mars is aspecting the second lord, sitting in the second house, though it is exalted. But its exaltation is beneficial for fifth house, not for the second house. Second house, it is afflicting the second house, at the same time afflicting the second lord. This person was a renowned personality, because you can see many Dhani Yogas also forming here. At the same time, there is a Raj Yoga, Dharma Karmadhipati Yoga. Mercury is involved in second house with Sun. That is, Mercury is 10th Lord, Sun is 5th Lord. They are conjoined in the second house. So there is a Raj Yoga, there are Dhani Yogas, there is a Saraswati Yoga. Saraswati Yoga made him famous in artistic abilities. He was a Hollywood star, but he died early age just because of drug addiction. So addiction was because of this. So you can see how you can synthesize the things. Once you see that what are the benefic aspects or benefic influences, after that what are the malefic influences through aspect or conjunction, then after that you synthesize and you can conclude what is going to happen to this person. Now when Lagan, see whether it is good yoga or bad yoga, when Lagan and Lagnesh, they are involved, the person himself is involved actually, and that yoga is intensified actually. It is expressed in a much more intensified manner when it is involved with the Lagan and Lagnesh. Right? So here, because the Saraswati Yoga, two planets which are involved in the Saraswati Yoga, they are sitting in Lagna. That made him famous as an actor actually. Actually he earned a lot of name, a lot of fan following. He was a comedy star. But since the Lagnesh and Lagan both are under Pap Kartari, this person died early age. This is what the analysis says. I hope it's clear up to here. So this chart belongs to the comedy actor, Hollywood comedy actor John Belushi, and the other one is Paul Newman. Now see the difference, how much big difference it is. there is no malefic aspect on Lagna and Lagna Lord except one, that is Sun. So, Saturn. So this is just one malefic aspect. It is not hemmed, nor Lagan is hemmed, and it is a good yoga formed in Lagan. He was a Hollywood star, Paul Newman, living a long life and was a star for long period of time. Is it clear? Can anyone speak, please? Is it clear up to here? So we will proceed to the next slide. Seema madam? Hello?
Yes,
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is this? Just a minute. Can you see the slides? Can you see the slides, please? Because
Yes,
something. Okay. Okay. So we will proceed to the next. Now see here. This is a chart. Third chart I am going to show you. Can anyone tell me what is happening in the Lagna? And what yoga is formed? There is one Panch Mahapurush yoga which is formed here in this chart. This is Lagna chart. This is Navansha chart. And this is a chart of a person whom I know very well. And his father came to me to show his chart. And I will tell you how I was surprised to see, and I had to ask some questions, and then he clarified certain things. What do you see in this chart?
So in first chart, the 10th house is being afflicted by Papkarturi. That's what I can see.
See, let us start from Lagna. Lagna has benefic hemming, that is Shubh Kartari. One side is Lagnesh, another side is Venus, right? So this is a positive aspect of Lagna, right? But the negative aspect is there is Mars and Sun sitting together in Lagna, and they are both of them, they are aspecting Moon. Now, first rate malefic aspecting Moon. This is one negative point here. Second is, as Madam said, Jupiter. It is forming the Panch Mahapurush Yoga, Hans Yoga in 10th house, the best of Kendra. But it is hemmed between Saturn and Ketu. Okay? So there is a Pap Kartari on the 10th house of Karmas. And the Lord of Karma himself, though he is forming Hans Yoga, it is under Pap Kartari. Third point, the Lagna is being aspected by Saturn. So Saturn is afflicting Lagna also and Lagna Lord also, both. Right? At a glance, when you see, actually, you will see, oh, there are good planets in Kendras and this and that, and Mercury and Venus, they are creating a Shubh Kartari Yoga. But actually, when you closely analyze this chart, you will find there are a lot of loopholes. Now, why I was surprised actually after seeing this chart, actually, I saw this chart for the first time, but only thing I knew about this boy, that this person he actually cracked All India Judiciary exam or something like that, and he got admission in National Judicial Academy, Bangalore. Okay, this I was knowing actually. This was the only thing I knew. So when I saw this chart, after seeing the chart, I asked my friend that why I am seeing this, that he has a break of education, though I know that this person, he has good capabilities and he cracked this exam. He said, yes, there is a break of education actually. Now, how I said the break of education actually? See, fifth house, Lord, it is placed sixth from itself. Sorry, eighth from itself. Though it is making the 12th house strong, but fifth house is weakened. Okay. So going to the 12th house means I interpreted that there must be some break, because I don't see any positive aspect, any benefic aspect I don't see. Saturn, it is aspecting, he is 8th lord, aspecting the 5th house from 11th. And he is 8th lord, remember this. Though it is not, he is 9th lord also. Maybe by luck he got that, he cracked that exam. But it is 8th lord also. And 8th house represents break. And 12th house represents change. Right? So that is why I said that I don't see anything good. I see only bad. And that is why I said that there is why I see the break in education. Then he told me that this person, this boy, means his son, he started consuming drugs. When he went there, he joined there, he started consuming drugs. Now for consuming drugs, I told you in the previous slide, 5th house of intelligence or discrimination should be spoiled. And 2nd house and 2nd lord should be spoiled. 5th house is already spoiled. Why? It has no benefic association. The lord has moved to the 12th house. It is aspected by Saturn, the 8th lord. 6th, 8th and 12th. These three houses, they also indicate addictions. 2nd lord, Mercury. It is being, 2nd lord, Moon, it is being aspected by Mars and Sun. Two malefics. Mars is double malefic here because he is also 6th lord. Whenever there is an aspect of Mars on Moon without any benefic aspect, it is going to create serious mental issues. Though in good terms we call it Chandra Mangal Yoga. It is formed in Lagan. Lagan is involved. So he may have money, but that money, it is useless because he is consuming drugs. So we have seen 5th house is spoiled here. 2nd house is spoiled here because the Lord is aspected by two malefics, including Mars, and 2nd house is under Pap Kartari. On one side Rahu, other side Mars. Mars is moving towards 2nd house and Rahu is also moving towards 2nd house. So it is hemmed. This type of Pap Kartari or Shubh Kartari, whatever it is more serious because both the planets, they are moving towards that house. Rahu is under reverse motion and Mars has the direct motion. So this person, he started consuming drugs and there was ultimately his father has to withdraw him from that National Judicial Academy, and now he is just doing a normal graduation. The Hans Yoga, it could not work. Though Jupiter is sitting in its own sign in 10th house, but it could not work. Though it is aspecting Lagna Lord Mercury also, it could not work because of so many malefic influences. So when we synthesize, we see what is outweighing the other thing, like thesis or antithesis, which has a heavier weight. The heavier weight, if thesis has a heavier weight, the person will flourish. If antithesis becomes heavy, he is going to have the tough time. This is how you have to see. Right? I hope it's clear. So let us move to the next slide. Now the second best thing for the Lagna will be Lagna Lord aspecting Lagna. In first chart you can see Lagna Lord moon, it is aspecting Lagna, and seventh Lord, it is present in the Lagna. So there is a mutual exchange of seventh and first Lord or Lagna Lord. Whenever any planets, any pair of planets, they exchange signs, this is the strongest association they can have, because both of them, they behave as if they are in their own sign. So they pronounce their results more strongly in a much more intensity than even if they are sitting in their own sign, may not produce the results of the same intensity. But when they do exchange of signs, now see here the exchange is between first and seventh Lord. Seventh Lord is 10th from 10th, means this is the house of Pad Prapti, house of position attainment. He has exchanged its sign with the Lagnesh. And can you imagine to which height it took the person? The person became the Prime Minister of the country. Okay, but remember one thing, there is never a single factor responsible for any event in astrology. It is never like this. There are many factors, they confluence, and then result is one, whatever it is. But the factors will be many. Now you see, now Prime Minister means the person is in politics. Any one of you who has seen this chart must have seen it, but you have forgotten it. This chart belongs to Indira Gandhi. Now this Saturn, by mutual exchange with Lagna Lord, gave her the position of Prime Minister. But this Saturn gave her death also, because Saturn is 8th Lord also. And he is sitting in Lagna. Lagna is under Pap Kartari. Can you see this? Pap Kartari. Mars on one side, Moon on the other side. Right? But because the person was in politics, there are strong indications in the chart that the person can excel in the politics. You can see the trines, that is 5 and 9, they are influenced by Sun and Mars. Sun and Mars, they are Kshatriya planets, right? So whenever you consider politics, you should see that the Sun and Mars in Lagna or Navansha, they should influence 5th and 9th house. Similarly, Saturn is the planet of democracy. It should influence 10th or 1st house. Now here see, the Saturn, it is sitting in Lagna and aspecting 10th house. Right? For politicians, 4th house is the seat of power. Seat of power is 4th house. Right? This is Venus. Venus is placed in 6th house with Rahu. Venus is also 11th Lord. There is a mutual exchange between 11th Lord and 6th Lord. This is something extraordinary. Mutual exchange of 11th Lord. 11th means public, people following, fans, friends. So Venus and Jupiter both become strong, very strong. And Rahu in the 6th house, it gives tendency for, cheating and tricks and all those which are very much required nowadays in the politics. So just see the planetary combination, how it is indicating a chart of a politician. So this is when Lagna Lord is aspecting Lagna. Okay. Now let us come to the second chart, This belongs to again an actress. Here, the Lagna Lord Jupiter, it is aspecting Lagna. There is a Mercury sitting in the Lagna, that is 10th house. So it is making a Raj Yoga here. There is a malefic and benefic having both. On one side there is a malefic and benefic. On the other side there is a there are both are malefics, right? But one important thing, why this person, why this actor became so famous? Gajkeshari Yoga has involved Lagna Lord and it is aspecting Lagna. It is not involved with any strict houses. Right? So that made her famous actually. Then there are many Dhan Yogas you can see, which are being formed. 5th Lord sitting in the 1st house. This is Maharaja Yoga. 5th house is the house of dignity. And when it combines with the Lagna, it gives a high position in whatever field the person is. If it is in politics, maybe he will become the Prime Minister or Chief Minister or whatever like. So Maharishi Parashar has called it as Maharaja Yoga. Sorry, not 5th house actually. I'm sorry, I misinterpreted actually. I thought that Mercury, it is Mars actually. It is, but Mercury being the Lord of the 10th house, Lord of the best Kendra, it is making a Raj Yoga in the Lagna. So whenever any yoga involves Lagna or Lagnesh, that yoga intensifies in results, at the same time becomes the distinguishing feature of that chart, and the person himself becomes distinguished. Right? So that is why just by seeing Lagna and Lagna Lord, even if you don't know about anybody, anything about him, you can at least tell that what should be the status of this person, whether he is enjoying the life or social life or whatever it is, in profession or what, everything, even health, you can tell everything just by seeing the Lagna. Now just see, so much malefic influence on the Lagna. Saturn is there. Then in Kartari Yoga, only one benefic, that is Venus. And that too, he is 6th Lord actually, 6th and 11th Lord. So for this chart, it is malefic actually. So likewise, you have to see thesis, antithesis, and then synthesis. How we, means I like this technique actually, and I follow this technique whenever I am going to analyze anything. First thing is analyze the Lagna and Lagna Lord, and then go to the house which is being questioned actually. So this was Lagna aspecting the Lagna Lord aspecting Lagna. Let us come to third condition. Now these are, I am telling you in descending order. First is Lagnesh sitting in Lagna itself. This is the best condition. Number 2, Lagnesh aspecting the Lagna. Number 2. Then third is Lagna occupied or aspected by benefics, natural benefics. Right? So this also gives a good situation, or we get a well disposed Lagna and Lagna Lord. If Lagna Lord is also sitting there, then it's something very good. But if benefics they are present, it is also good. You can see here in this chart, first chart, Venus is exalted, though it is 8th Lord. But I will tell you whose chart it is. But Venus is exalted here. Right? Lagnesh himself is exalted in 5th house. Means there is a Raj Yoga also. 1st and 5th, Maharaja Yoga. Sun, as a 6th Lord, it is exalted. 3 exalted planets. What I mean to say, whatever the field of the person is, whether he is a businessman or in service or in any other sports person or any field of life. Such type of planetary situations or combinations make the person a prominent figure in whatever field the person is. So whenever we are evaluating any chart, first look at the lagna and lagna lord. Here in this case, this belongs to a saint, Ma Anandamai, South Indian. Maybe she is from South India. I think maybe people must be knowing. Yeah, Ma Anandamai, and followed by many millions around the world. Now, second chart. See here again, Venus is there. Now this belongs to some other person who is entirely from a different field, from the acting side. I can discuss what are the factors which make a person actor actually. I have done a lot of research on this, and ultimately I found it that these factors hold true actually. First thing, if you remember the first slide, two kundalis of Hollywood star, you saw there is formation of Saraswati Yoga. Whenever natural benefics, Jupiter, Venus and Mercury, they fall in Lagan or Trine or Kendras and second house, this yoga is formed. And whenever you see this yoga, you will see that person is invariably involved in artistic activities. You just take out any chart of a person who is involved in this field of life, you will find him that if this yoga is formed, he is into this field. At the same time, he has good name in this field. Right? So this chart belongs to the Hollywood star Angelina Jolie. The charts of celebrities, they are good in a sense. Actually, we know the events actually. We can trace their events, number one, accurately. Number two, if they attain a very good position, you can see the yogas in their purest form. Like we saw in Paul Newman's chart, the Saraswati Yoga forming in Lagna, pure Saraswati Yoga forming in Lagna. So you can see these things in celebrities' charts only. We cannot see in everybody's charts because, say, if there are many yogas formed in the Kundali, the person will attain heights. Like for example, say person is Prime Minister. I can discuss the chart of Prime Minister Modi also. You will find there is a bunch of Raj Yogas in the Kundali. Bunch of Raj Yogas. And I have analyzed for this election also. And nobody is around his radius actually. He's undergoing so much good dashas actually right now. So in this case, Angelina Jolie, she's a famous world famous Hollywood star. There is no planetary influence we see very prominent in the Lagna, but we have a natural benefic which is sitting in Lagna, which is artistic planet of acting, planet of poetry, specifically music, right? Let us see whether there is a formation of Saraswati Yoga or not. See, in Lagna we have Venus. In 9th house, that is the biggest trine, we have Jupiter, and Mercury, it is in 11th house. So, actually some astrologers, particularly K.N. Rao, he recommends that if this combination falls in 11th house also, it should be considered as Saraswati Yoga because it gives the effect like that. And in this chart, we are seeing happening that. Right? So, just see how means these small factors, they become so big when they are associated with Lagna or Lagna Lord, both. Right? So let us now move forward to another condition. that is Shubh Kartari. Next best condition is Shubh Kartari. We have already discussed this. In this chart, you can see Shubh Kartari. This is again a chart of a big businessman. Okay. You can see Mercury and Venus on either side of the Lagna. And we have Jupiter in Lagna, Sun and Moon. Means Gajkesari Yoga is also being formed in the Lagna. That is why he became so famous businessman, billionaire, Ross Perot. Okay. You can make out many Dhani Yogas and Raj Yogas forming here in this chart. Whenever you will see the chart of any celebrity, celebrity means they have a lot of money also. So you will see multiple Dhani Yogas being formed. Now see, there is a strong, see, the 11th Lord, it is aspecting second house. 11th Lord of gains, it is aspecting second house of yet, which is called as yet another house of gains. So it is creating a Dhani Yoga, actually. Venus as a fifth Lord, Lakshmi Sthana, it is in the second house. So it is yet another Dhani Yoga. Right? So these are the things when you will see the chart one by one, means start from the Lagna and start seeing the yogas being formed, placement of benefics and aspect of benefics and malefics, and then check which one has a more strength, which is outweighing the other one. Like in John Belushi's chart, we saw there is a Pap Kartari. Pap Kartari is formed by 4 planets, 3 on one side in Marak house, second house, and 1 on the 12th house. Second chart here, it is another famous person, and just see the benefic hemming, you can make out. Otherwise, you know, Mars and Ketu, they are afflicting the Lagna, making him aggressive person, and he was not good towards his wife because it is aspecting 7th house. And it was also because, see, when a celebrity, he is doing a bad thing, he becomes famous very fast for the bad thing also. Not only good things. For bad thing also equally he is, his name circulates in the social circle. So these are 2 examples of Shubh Kartari who gave these people good name and fame and good money and all those things, status, everything. Now let us go to the next, Vargottama Lagna. This is yet another. Vargottama Lagna, you people know, I think. Everyone must be knowing. When we have the same sign in the Lagna of D9, the Vargottama, we call it Vargottama Lagna. Similarly, the planet, if he occupies the same sign of birth chart in the Navansha also, he is a Vargottama planet. Right? This is a source of strength for any planet or any house. When we call a planet Vargottama planet, means he has a source of strength. Even if it is debilitated, if it becomes Vargottama, it will give some good results. It cannot be bad. Right? Because it has a source of strength. And that source of strength is in Navansha. Right? So these 2 charts, they are examples of Vargottama Lagna. Chart of one person, but one is D9 and another is D1. Let us go to the next thing, that is factors that make Lagna Lord favorably disposed and strong. Some are common factors, some we will see. When it is well dignified, when Lagna Lord has dignity, like exalted, Mool Trikona, own sign, Vargottama, these are the dignified dignities of the Lagna Lord or any planet. Directional strength, involved in exchange. Second is when it is occupying good vargas. and good position in good Vargas. Not good Vargas, rather maximum Vargas. So the recommended, see, I think this factor is ignored by many of us, even including me, means I don't give too much importance to that. But it is a very important factor when you consider charts of celebrities. Like I saw the chart of Bill Clinton. So Parashara has given Shadvarg, Saptvarg, Dasvarg dignity for any planet. I have not included charts here because I have to include so many charts for that actually. So I have not included, but this is one of the factors you should see, that in Shadvarg, at least it is recommended that we should see the position of that planet in Shadvargas, that at D1, D2, D3, and D9, D12, and D30, I think, right? So other conditions, when it occupies good houses, it is in Shukkartari, and when its dispositor is strong. Now this factor I wanted to discuss before, but I did not discuss because we don't have example in the previous slide. So I have put the example here. I will show you this. Now see this, Lagna Lord, well dignified in angle or trine. Right? This is a chart of saint, famous saint of India, Sri Ram Krishna Paramhans. Lagna Lord Saturn, it is exalted in 9th house of Dharma. Right? This type of planetary combination you will find in the charts of saints, all Dharma houses, they are influenced by Jupiter, Saturn, and they are exalted like this. So one principle I would like to tell you here, whenever Lagna Lord is associated with ninth house, ninth Lord, or 10th house, 10th Lord, in good dignity, this person goes a long way in his life. Whatever the field he is in, he will be a very renowned person. He will go a long way. And if there are other positive influences also, then he may become world famous actually. So this is a condition which should be remembered, that when we are seeing Lagna Lord, just check where it is sitting. If it is sitting in 9th house or 10th house or associated with their lords in good dignity, this is for sure that this person will not be a normal achiever. Okay, but modifying factors should not be forgotten. Remember this thing. Let us come to the other chart, the second chart. I want to tell you, when Lagna Lord is well dignified, this is chart of my own student. Why I deliberately kept this chart belongs to my student. And when he was a student, at that time only, from zero or from nowhere to he became owner of, I think, 5 or 6 colleges. His mind was working so sharply. Here, the Lagna Lord is exalted in 10th house. Lagna Lord happens to be Saturn, aspecting the 4th house, so he has so many properties. Even institutions, they are properties. He has so many institutions now. Right? So just see how one planet, that is Lagna Lord, can influence the whole chart. Otherwise, when you see the other aspects of this chart, you will not find something extraordinary. Eighth Lord, Sun, it is moves to 7th house, not a good thing. Aspecting Lagna, not a good thing. Right? But still, this person, he is so high in his position. He attained on his own actually. Saturn is a planet for these lands and all those things, and it is aspecting that house. Now let us come to, so I think it's clear now. Let us come to the next. When Lagna Lord is aspected by benefic planets. This is the next best condition. First thing, he should be in good dignity, in good house. Second thing, second number is when it is aspected by natural benefics. Now, in the first chart, Lagna Lord is Saturn. It is with benefic, Jupiter, who is 11th Lord. And second Lord also means he must be very rich person. Right? Now, I told you most of the charts I have here, I have put the charts of celebrities, right? Particularly those who are in the acting field. So you can make out from their, see, third house is the house of performing arts. Everyone knows this, I hope. If you want to see whether this person can do acting or not, check his third house. Third house should connect with the fifth house and 10th house. And if it gets connected to the first house also, this person will go a long way in the field of acting. Here, one thing you have to remember, it doesn't matter whether the planets, they are artistic or not. Doesn't matter. If they are artistic, the things become more sure for that person in that particular field. Now see here, the third lord is Mars. It is aspecting the 10th house, who is his own house. Right? Mercury, the fifth lord, it is with Sun. Sun is a planet of celebrity. The sign Leo, it is a sign of celebrity. And it is occupied by Venus. Right? And Venus is aspecting Lagan also. And Venus being aspected by third lord also. So there is a connection of third, Venus, and then 10th lord and Lagan all. Right? So this is a movie star from Spain actually. Antonio Banderas. Second chart, you can see again here what is happening with the Lagna Lord. Lagna Lord is Mercury. It is being aspected by Jupiter from Lagna. And Jupiter is also making a Gaj Kesari Yoga related with Lagan. So whenever any yoga, including Gaj Kesari Yoga, it is associated with Lagan or Lagna Lord, the yoga becomes more pronounced in that person's life. It will be expressed in a much intensified way. Even if it is not connected, so we have seen that previously, that even if it is not connected, the principle is if Lagna and Lagna Lord, it is strong, that person, whatever yogas he has, those yogas will flourish in a much better way. They will give the results in a much better way than if they are not connected. And if same holds true for the bad yogas also. They will also give results in a much more intensified bad manner. If Lagna Lord, they are not good in condition. Because those yogas, if they get connected with first house, first lord, they are going to affect the native very seriously. Next is then Shukkartari. Now this chart, it is the chart of an astrologer actually. Can you see here something very bad happening to Lagna Lord? It is going in the 8th house. Lagna Lord Mercury goes to 8th house with the 8th Lord, with the 12th Lord. Can you see? It's a horrible condition. Means it is such a big arrest yoga actually. Moon has moved to the 12th house and it is with Ketu. So he has a huge arrest yoga, big one. But he survived. Why he survived? Because Lagnesh, that is Mercury, it is in Shubh Kartari. And both of them, they are in dignity, good dignity. They are in their own sign. See, Jupiter in 7th house, Venus in 9th house. In between, there is a Lagna Lord. So he survived. Otherwise, any astrology student, when he will see this chart, first thing he will ask, what is happening to this guy? Such a bad condition. He had Arishta Yoga, very intensified Arishta Yoga, but he survived this because of these two big natural benefits. And he is a famous one. So this is another condition which makes the Lagna Lord strong. Let us come to the important concept of dispositor. Now, what is dispositor? Dispositor is the planet who is the lord of the sign where any planet is placed. Here we are talking about Lagna Lord. So the sign lord of Lagna Lord will be the dispositor. And there are many yogas formed by dispositor, which we usually ignore. Because when we see, when we are analyzing any house, for example, we are analyzing Lagna Lord, where it is placed, say for example, in this case, he is placed in 9th house. It is exalted, right? And his dispositor is Mars, who is sitting with Lagna Lord. Just can you imagine how strong Lagna Lord and Lagna is in this particular case? It becomes very strong now. Because Lagna Lord has gone to the 9th house, he is sitting with his own dispositor. So, here there is a formation of yoga that is called as dispositor yoga, that is Parvata yoga, I think we call it Parvata yoga. The dispositor of Lagna Lord in own or exaltation sign sitting in Kendra or Trikona. Here, Mars is sitting in its own sign in the most powerful Trikona, that is 9th house. So this is Parvata yoga, dispositor yoga formed here. Right? So this chart also belongs to a Hollywood star actually. So see, these are the rare type of yogas which normally don't so we don't see in any average or even above average person. Second is again Angelina Jolie chart. We have here Lagna Lord, Moon. Where is Moon? Moon is in 9th house. It is with Jupiter. Jupiter is the lord of 9th house, that is Pisces. So it is forming a Gaj Kesari yoga in the best trine, Lagna Lord. Naturally, such type of things, the best type of yogas, when they are formed in Kendras and Lagna Lord or Lagna is associated, the person becomes famous and he goes a long way in his life. So let us come to there are other dispositor yogas also. I think this is a good practice to remember the names of yogas. Though people, they say that it is not important to remember the name. Of course, it is not very important. We should understand the planetary combination that is taking place actually. But when you remember the name, actually, it becomes easy to identify the yoga from the chart. So here we again have a dispositor yoga. Now I don't have Navansa charts here. Otherwise, we can see other dispositor yogas also, which involves the Navansa chart also, like Parijat Yoga, Kalpadrum Yoga, like this, right? So Parijat Yoga is Lagna Lord, dispositor of Lagna Lord, and the Navansa dispositor of that dispositor. So we have to see all these things. They should be in angle or triangle, like this. Okay. So let us come to the next condition now. The unfavorably disposed Lagna and Lagna Lord. What are the conditions? So anything that is happening opposite to it, whatever is we are seeing here, anything that is happening opposite to that, it will weaken the Lagna also and Lagna Lord also. But few things I would like to say about a few factors like Gandanta. Gandanta, I think everyone knows, either it is Rashi Gandanta or Tithi Gandanta or Nakshatra Gandanta. The worst of it is Nakshatra Gandanta, right? That planet becomes very weak and prone to give bad results. But any planet which is present even in the last degrees or last Navansha, it is not considered a strong planet unless there is any other source of strength. For example, suppose Lagna Lord, it is placed in 29.5 degrees of any sign, say Aries. Now 29.5 degrees means he is just at the junction of the next sign, right? It is a weak planet. Now when you see this Lagna Lord in Navansha, and if it is exalted or in some good condition, then it will provide some strength to the planet to give the results in a more positive fashion or desired results. Similarly, whether it is combust planet also, we must see the source of strength in any of the Vargas, particularly Navansha, right? Any planet which is combust, though if you, I don't know how many of you know, uh, in the last century we had a great astrologer, Sheshadri Iyer. He was the person who actually, you can say, he was the pioneer of giving principles to analyze Varga charts. He gave some principles, and one of the principle is that if planet is combust in Lagna chart, that combustion effect will be carried to all Varga charts. I am little bit means at personal level don't agree with 100% with this. Reason is, you will find the chart, I can show the charts here, where a deep combust planet has given extraordinary results. As I told you in the beginning, the purpose of my discussion for the combustion was that if the planet is combust, does not mean that it is going to give all the results very bad or it will not give results at all. No. Certain significations definitely suffer, but what are those significations? I told you, the significations which are external in nature, they are the sufferer actually, right? So we have to see that what is the degree of the planet. Now another thing is, planet in exaltation. Usually when we see a planet, we see that, okay, moon is in Taurus, we consider it is exalted. Okay, it is exalted, but at what degree? If it is 0.5 degree moon in Taurus, it is weakly exalted. It will not give the full results of a fully exalted planet because it is in Sandhi, that is uh, just very close to the next sign. So in exaltation means these things, even I learned over a period of time that we should check each and everything so minutely if we want to be accurate in the result. You have to see, and one more thing I would like to say, that you should not
um, hesitate to experiment. There is no problem in experimenting, assuming. And this is what Ketu does, no? If Ketu is influencing the lagan of a person, the person becomes, very strong in intuitions and reasoning. Ketu gives the result like Mars. Mars is deductive reasoning and Ketu is inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning means you see the pattern and draw a conclusion. Deductive reasoning is you one by one you eliminate the probabilities and come to a conclusion. Seeing the pattern means when I see something similar happening most commonly, then I make an opinion that no, this if this is happening, it means it should be like this only. For example, if I see green trees, I will make an opinion that the leaves are always green. So this is something that I concluded after seeing so many plants with green leaves. Right? So this type of inductive reasoning, it is imparted by Ketu. So you should, means this is my own experience actually, you should never hesitate to experiment on that. Let us come to the next slide. Here, this is a chart of, we are seeing here the Arishta Yoga now. Arishta Yogas, why? Because they invariably associate themselves with Lagan or Lagnesh. Lagan or Lagna Lord, they are associated always with any type of Arishta Yoga. Because Arishta Yoga means related to health and life of that particular person. So if it comes to the body and the life of the person, there is 100% involvement of Lagan and Lagnesh. There will be malefic aspect or something like that. Now see here in this chart, Lagna Lord is Mercury. It is in the 6th house of disease. Okay. Let us check the dispositor Saturn. It has gone to the 8th house of chronic disease. Right. It is also with the 7th Lord, Jupiter, who is Maraka. One more thing, remember, because this thing I have come across actually so many times, that if Jupiter is Maraka or Venus is Maraka, they will not do any much harm. Let me tell you, if a benefic planet becomes Maraka and occupies a Maraka house, it becomes more potent Maraka. Okay. So Jupiter here, it is the Maraka who is sitting with Saturn, who is the dispositor of Mercury, right? So this person suffered paralysis. He is a actually American president, Franklin Roosevelt. Next again chart, it is with chart for the Arishta Yoga. Now you can see Lagna Lord in the 8th house, Mercury. Then it is with Mars, 8th Lord. Moon, it has gone into the 12th house. Right? So Lagna means Lagna Lord is involved. And Moon is also involved. It is a very strong Arishta Yoga. In one Kundali, I told you about the astrologer, there is a benefic hemming, Shukkartari of such a exactly same situation was there. But here there is no benefic hemming. And rather it is with the Mars. So you must have read it actually. Whenever, see, the planet which is sitting in the 8th house gives you indication about type of death the person will have. The person had violent death. And he is John F. Kennedy, the president of USA. He was shot dead. You can see here. Now, when you analyze the chart for the health purpose, when you see this chart and see Lagna and Lagna Lord, Anybody who is learning astrology, immediately he will say there must be some serious issues with this guy regarding the health. Lagna Lord is in which eighth Lord in the eighth house, Moon is in 12th house, Saturn is aspecting the Lagna. What else is required? And Rahu Ketu, they are in Kendra with Lagna. So much malefic influence. Ultimately, he was shot dead. So I hope it is clear, right? Let us come to the next slide. That factors that make Lagna weak. So all those factors which we saw, which made the Lagna strong, if you make them opposite, it becomes weak. Malefic association, Pap Kartri. You can see this chart. Jupiter is there in the Lagna, but there is a Pap Kartri, two first-rate malefics. They are hemming from 12th and 2nd house. Rahu Ketu, they are in Kendra with the Lagna. Right? Moon, it has lost its Pakshbala. So all these factors which were making strong, if you make them opposite, it will be, they will be making the Lagna weaker. So this was all about Lagna and Lagna Lord. Now, what are the key inferences which we can draw from all this? First thing is that Lagna and Lagna Lord, first thing, they should be examined before you proceed for any house examination. Second thing is, you must see what type of good yogas are being formed in the chart as a whole, and they are associated with Lagna or Lagna Lord. There are many yogas where Lagna and Lagna Lord exclusively they are required. Like you must be knowing about those dispositor yogas, then Bheri yoga. Bheri yoga means in this chart there is a Bheri yoga. You can say the person with Bheri yoga becomes famous. Like Mahatma Gandhi was there in. See, whenever there is a planet is 12th house, in 2nd house, in Lagna and 7th house, this makes Bheri yoga. Such a person becomes very famous. And if most of the planets fall within this circle, that is 2nd, 1st and 12th and 7th house, better it is. So second step is you must see that what are the yogas being formed which are related with Lagna Lord or Lagna. Then we come to the third aspect, that is, now let us see the modifying factors, any blemishes, anything. If there are malefic influences, count how many malefic influences are there. Under normal circumstances, 2 malefic influences any house or any planet can tolerate. After that, if there are more than 2, then things become little bit serious and the significations may be totally destroyed. So once we see the benefic and malefic influences, we have to see what is the weightage, which one is outweighing the other one, and then we come to the conclusion, that is the synthesis. Then we synthesize and say, okay, this person must be good in this field, or maybe this is the field. See, astrology is such a wide area that on certain issues it is very difficult to find out what field the person is working for, like for the education field. If you want to know about the education, sometimes you will see many planets, they are influencing 5th house or 5th lord. Now here things become tricky because you have to find out the most prominent planet which is going to influence that particular, so we can tell the person, okay, this person may become such and such thing, maybe artistic person or non-technical person or air hostess or something like that. All these things, whatever you want to see, you have to see. So it is a very complicated area of astrology, but it requires a lot of practice. For example, I want to tell you here, if you want to see what type of education the person is going to have, technical or non-technical. Technical means engineering side, non-technical means artistic side like music, acting, dancing, writing, or all these things. So there are some specific combinations present for any specific line. For general, if you want to say, okay, he can become engineer. Now what engineer? Electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, or civil engineer. So if there is a technical influence predominant on fifth house, fifth lord, one thing is sure, that person is going to be engineer. Now which engineer, then you have to see specifically whether it is going to be Saturn for building, civil engineer, Saturn Mars. Whether it is going to be electrical engineer, then Sun and Mercury also include. Computer engineer, then we have to include Sun and Mercury. Electronics, Mercury, right? We keep on zeroing in actually like this. If we want that the person is going to be in the acting or not, see the third house. Third house is the house of performing art. And see the fifth. Why fifth? Because it is third from the third. And second thing, it is the house of entertainment, cinema, television, creativity. So if you want to see, somebody comes to you, I want to see, please tell me whether I want to become an actor. Can you tell me whether I will become or not? Just check these things. Whether third house, fifth house and 10th house, they are connecting or not. If they are not connecting, you can try some different field. Similarly, authorship. Author means it is pen and paper. Pen and paper means Mercury and Mars. Third house of communication through writing. So when fifth house is also writing. Now what is the difference between third and fifth here? Third house is writing the small things like articles, dramas, scripts and all these things. And fifth house, authorship, is for bigger ones like books. If you want to write a book, there has to be influence of Jupiter, otherwise you cannot write a book. So there is this is just, we are seeing through Parashari angles. Let us check these things from Karkans also. That comes under the Gemini astrology. But if you know Gemini and if you know Parashari also, things become very easy for you because you can cross check with the other thing. For example, in Parashari, you check the person's interest. He wants to become author. He wants to be a journalist, let us say. Now you check through Parashari, 3rd, 5th house, 10th house, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter. And when you see these things are giving the indications, go to the Gemini part, that is Karkansh Lagna. I hope you people know what is Karkansh Lagna. The planet with highest degree Atmakaraka, the Navansha occupied by Atmakaraka, if you make it Lagan in birth chart, that is Karkansh Lagan. Now check from Karkansh Lagan, 1st and 5th house. What is the situation? If you are getting the same indication, it is confirmed. That person can become author, or if he wants to become journalist, he can become journalist. Right? Mercury and Mars, if you see the journalists who are associated with the print media, you will find their charts, they have Mercury and Mars association related to 3rd, 5th house. Because Mars represents ink, Mercury represents paper, pen and paper. This is combination for journalists. So we have seen so many things. We cannot complete everything. It is such a vast thing. Over a period of time, I have been able to find out all these things. What you can say, though there is no push button like thing in astrology, there is no fixed formula like thing in astrology. You have to analyze, synthesize, and then you have to reach to some conclusion. But still there are some strong indications, whether you call them formula or whatever it is, means that will come through by practice and analyzing and all those, doing like that. It will not come overnight. It will take some time, and then you can. So the actually technique for that is the same. Start one by one. From first house, start. Then move to the other house. Now person wants to see the education. So you have to see Lagna. Okay, Lagna Lord. Now there is no need to see second house and third house. You can see fourth house, because fourth house is also education. But it is not higher education actually. If you want to see the school education, go for the fourth house. If you want to see the primary level, ultra primary level, KG1, KG2, first, second, third, go to the second house and see the second house, because that represents the preliminary stage of the education. So like this, with practice and doing the analysis of charts over a period of time, it becomes easier then. And then a typical pattern is developed actually within yourself. You can develop that pattern, and when any chart comes, you start in the same way. Like for example, even if you ask me about marriage, I will first see the first house and first lord. After that, I will go to the seventh house or the any other house which is related with the marriage. So it is good to learn more than one technique, not only Parashari, because if you want to confirm the event, there should be multiple things in front of you, so that you can check, cross check, and see that yes, it is happening everywhere. I can see some indications. Even for timing the event, I don't go with one dasha. Vinshotri is the main dasha system. Other than this, there is Yogini dasha, and there are some conditional dashas which are very common, and we can see them. And Parashar has given those dashas to be used actually. So if there is any conditional dasha involved, check with that also, because suppose if you ask me about the marriage and timing and all that thing, I will see Vinshotri also, Yogini also, if there is any conditional dasha, that also. And once all these three are confirming, then I will go to the Gemini to finally confirm the event, whether this dasha is permitting or not. And most of the time it happens that the same thing is indicated in the other system also. So this was all for today from me. Anything you have to ask, please you can ask. See, there is a lot of things to speak, but we have time limit, and so it's not possible in one webinar or one sitting. We have to take this. There are many formulas also. Whosoever right now is attending, just I am giving one exercise to you. See in your chart where Rahu is sitting. If it is sitting in third house or 11th house, then check whether you are the eldest among your siblings or the youngest, or eldest or youngest among the same gender. Like if you are a boy, you must be the eldest among the boy or youngest among the boy. Just check this. Rahu should be in third or 11th house. Okay, there are some formulas also, so that they can be checked actually. So this is all from me. If you have to ask any questions, you are most welcome. Seema madam, any questions, please?
No, sir, not now. I will
Okay.
go through this Hanji once again. I will try these charts.
You please try this, and I would like to have feedback also from your end, because if there is no feedback, then for me, I don't think okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
I would request, I would request the feedback also. Okay,
Yes, sir.
you
Yes.
can the members can put the feedback in the group. What is missing? which can be included. Maybe later on we can meet sometimes later, whenever we are free, and we can include those things. Means from point of view of learning. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, many could not able to join because of the net issue. But sir, what will be the? Have you recorded the session, sir?
Yeah, I have recorded this.
तो सर आप एक बार भेजना तो
I,
we will ask them to see go through
ah,
this recording.
okay, sure,
Yes, sir.
sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Good night, sir.
Okay, good night. Thank you, all of you. And see you later
Yes, sir.
again.
Yes, sir. Soon.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, sir.